Hey guys, it's Erika, and in today's video we're going to be doing an update on my Philodendron, melanochrysum, verrucosum, and my Monstera Thai Constellation. And just a little spoiler, they're all doing really well, and I'm so excited because, I don't know, these plants were shipped to me and they're kind of expensive plants, so I don't know, they just made me nervous if they would, do well here. Two of them are from Japan. I don't know where the other one is from, but yeah, they were shipped here, so I've been worried about them, but they're doing great now. So if you enjoyed the video, you can give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel if you want to see more plant related content, and we're gonna get right into it. First up, we have the Philodendron melanochrysum. Don't know how to pronounce it. And I kept it in this bag so you guys could kind of see the little setup I got going on. But this is a setup I highly recommend. I cannot recommend it enough. Maybe once you see these results, you'll get really into it like I am. I have like a whole section of my house with just bags like this. But it's really great. So I put it in here when I first got it, and the bag was kind of flopping over because I don't have a stake to hold it up. So just recently, like every day, I would adjust the bag so that the leaves wouldn't touch the edges of the bag. And then recently I just kind of like blew into the bag to make it a balloon. And I was nervous about doing that because I didn't know how the plant would take it, but it's been doing fine. So I'm gonna take it out. Also, I just want to mention there are fungus gnats in here. There's maybe 2 or 3, and usually I don't get fungus gnats when this happens. So one might have gotten into the bag, and I don't know how I feel about letting them out of here. But we're gonna do it. Okay. And I don't like when the leaves touch the edges of the bag. I only watered this plant like once. At most, I watered it once while it was in there. And this is how it's doing. You can't really, tell a difference from the outside. Maybe the leaves have grown, I'm not sure. But this is the good stuff that I was hoping for. So you could probably see here that there are some roots coming in. And I honestly didn't even know there was a node there. So this is a very pleasant surprise for me. I'm very happily surprised. There is about 3 roots coming in. I hope you can see them all because, they're looking real great. And this is exactly why I put these plants in the bag. I'm pretty sure I said it in the video when I was putting them in the bags that if you put them in the bag, their aerial roots will grow crazy. So this guy's fine. He's rooted. He's great. I can take him out of the bag now if I want to, or leave him in. I'm probably going to leave him in a little longer until his new leaf over here comes out, because there is some brown stuff that I don't know what it is, and that kind of makes me nervous. It seems like it could be rotted plant material, which is what I'm hoping it is. But let me just wipe this off. But yeah, that makes me nervous. But otherwise, seeing these roots makes me really happy, and I'm not even worried about the plant anymore. It's doing great. It's gonna keep growing, and I love it. Just look how gorgeous it is. It gets me every time. And I'm just going to put him back in his bag where the fungus gnats might still be. I just want to mention, this terracotta or clay pot is completely like wet. This is very saturated with water. I would never let my plant stay saturated like this unless it was in a humidity bag, because this thing is pretty soaking wet. And for some reason it works for the plants when they're in their humidity bag. But if it wasn't in a humidity bag, I would be very worried that its soil was this wet a lot of the time. So I'm gonna put him back in where he belongs. The fungus gnat stayed inside, so I might clean out this bag before I put him in there. Fungus gnats, man, like, I don't usually have a problem with fungus gnats either, so. So we're gonna leave him here just for beauty's sake. And then next I have my verrucosum. This is my Philodendron verrucosum, and same exact story with, you know, the bag and everything, but this one is a way more intense version of growth. It's crazy how much this thing has grown. I'm kind of putting you in suspense right now, but this one does have fungus gnats also, which makes me worry about the soil that I used for it, because why are there fungus gnats in here? Same exact story, and I actually now remember that these have been watered once since I put them in here. So they've only been watered, oh my gosh! They've only been watered twice in their life since they've been with me. So let me show you what's going on here, because this one's roots are crazy. And if I remember correctly, in the video I said specifically for this one would really benefit from being put into the bag. You can see that he has what would be aerial roots up here, and I want those to root, and aerial roots grow really well in the humidity of a bag. Look at him now. Do you see these roots? Hold on, it's getting out of focus. These roots are crazy. So there's some coming from up here. I don't know if they're in focus, but there's 3 really long ones. And then down here even, there are roots growing. You can see that white stuff is powder. That's rooting hormone actually, and I guess it worked since the roots are going down and they're so far that they're in the soil now. They're doing absolutely wonderful. It has a new leaf coming out. I couldn't be any more pleased with this, and it is kind of growing funky. I'm gonna need to stake these up very soon. Like, they should be staked right now, but they're so beautiful together. And I'm so happy that they're doing so well. It just makes me so happy. My heart is soaring. But yeah, those are my 2 plants that came from Japan. And then I also have my Thai Constellation Monstera here. And this guy, when I got it, he had some root rot. He came in sphagnum moss, but I kind of fixed him up in some new sphagnum moss after I got it, and he perked up a little bit. His roots started growing, and then I accidentally watered him too much and he got a little bit of root rot again. And then he got put into soil. Okay, well, let me tell you the story. This is a whole story. It recovered really well. The roots were growing so long. I even did a video on it, and then I overwatered it and it got root rot again. And at that point, I was just too scared to put it in soil for some reason. I just don't like rooting plants in soil. And this one is too big to put into a plastic bag. So I wanted to avoid rooting it in soil at all costs. So I cut off a lot of the roots that were even looked slightly rotten, because I was done. I was done with having any rot on that plant. Anything that looked like it might have been root rot, I cut off. All the new growth that came out was gone. It was very devastating. And I was pretty freaked out about it, because this plant was a gift from my sister, and it's a Thai Constellation. Like, this plant means a lot to me. So yeah, I was freaking out. I sprayed it with hydrogen peroxide, which completely worried me, because people were suggesting to spray it with hydrogen peroxide. But I don't know, I was so worried. I was rooting in sphagnum moss, which I had never done before. And then I started spraying hydrogen peroxide on the roots, which I also had never done before. And it was just a lot of new things to be testing out on such a special plant that if it died, I would be devastated. That's kind of just giving you the situation that I was in. I left it out. It was just sitting on my kitchen counter with its roots out so that, you know, it could dry a little bit. I didn't want to leave it too wet after I sprayed the hydrogen peroxide before putting it back into sphagnum moss. And I was out of the house and my mom texts me and she says something about your poor plant is going to die. It's just sitting here. And she texted me, is it okay if I pot it? And I replied, like, no, I'm going to put it into, like, no, leave it alone. I'm going to do something with it later. And so then she replies with a picture of it in this pot, potted up. And I'm freaking out, and I text her, like, what soil did you use? And she told me that she used the soil that I made. I have a little soil batch over there. I make my own soil, so it's not like the worst soil she could have used. It was actually pretty good, but I definitely wanted a way more aerating soil than this one. I would have added a whole bunch of perlite, some pumice, a lot of orchid bark, so I was so worried, but there was nothing I could do because it was already potted. I might have even posted a story on Instagram like saying if I should repot. I don't remember, but I just know it was a really like I was freaking out. And so I came home and I was just like, I'm just gonna leave it because this little plant has been through so much and he cannot be repotted again. His roots are trying to grow and heal. I really wanted to repot him though. And I know I would always be like, oh, should I repot it? And in the comments, people would be like, no, do not repot it. Let it grow, let it heal. So that's what I did. And it took a lot of restraint because I also would have put it into a much smaller pot. So yeah, that's why there's this tape here. Guys, I cannot believe that just happened. Oh my gosh. Gosh, my poor plants. Okay, luckily, oh my gosh, okay, they're gonna be okay. I was just talking about how they were gonna be okay, so they're gonna survive this. Oh my gosh. Okay, well, I guess now we can see how much their roots have grown. So this is my verrucosum's roots. They look really good, so this plant is gonna survive this. It's gonna be okay. And these are the melanochrysum roots. Looking pretty good. I am going to try and pot these in as much of the same soil they were in as possible. I'll be right back. So I'm back, and that was very disturbing. This is everything that I cleaned up. Both of the pots completely shattered, okay? And I'm so lucky that I had two of the same kinds of pots on hand. Here are my newly rescued plants, and thank goodness none of the leaves broke off. The roots are still looking great. That was absolutely terrifying. Can you imagine if one of these snapped? But yeah, I potted them up. So I guess the good thing about this was that you guys got to see the roots, and I got to see the roots, and they did grow a lot. That's about the only thing good that came out of this. That was so incredibly disturbing, and I feel so bad for my plants, and I'm gonna be a lot more careful. That was really disturbing, but I'm glad that I at least got it on camera. Oh my gosh. Okay, we're gonna go back to my story, which I have no idea where I left off. At least I was holding this plant so it didn't fall. Anyways, back to the story of my Thai Constellation. In the end, it all worked out, so it's fine. It's fine. Okay, I'm so shaken. Oh my gosh. Okay. But here's the plant. It has gotten a lot bigger in general. This leaf, half of it kind of died, and then I was able to like peel it off. It was like kind of like a tissue that I got to peel it off exactly on the edge. So that's how the newest leaf looks. It was already growing there when I got it, so I can't wait till it puts out like an actual new leaf, but I think it's gonna be a while until that happens. Yeah, so those are all the plants I wanted to show you, and I'm gonna take them off of this stand in case something else happens. That was so terrifying. I also had some other plants that I wanted to show you, and they're just bonus plants, bonus extra plants that I'm gonna show you. So I have my watermelon peperomia propagation in here, and it's a variegated leaf. Okay, one moment. Okay, I'm back. So this watermelon peperomia I specifically bought because I saw a single variegated leaf on the plants, and so this is where it was. Like this stem right here, this empty stem is where the leaf was, and it actually came out with a new variegated leaf since then. Right here. It's like half and half. It is so cool. I just noticed it today actually. So I specifically bought this plant because of that leaf, and then I propagated it. I leaf cut it, and I'm gonna pull it out so I could show you the progress. It's been a lot slower than my watermelon peperomias tend to propagate, and I have propagated a lot of watermelon peperomias. So it barely has a new leaf coming out, and I wanted to see if the new leaves that came out would be variegated. So far, I can't tell, but it doesn't look like it. So you can see the nice variegated leaf that I cut in half, and it does have a tiny little baby leaf right here, but you can't really see if it's variegated. And then on this side there's also a little leaf, but that one is so tiny. But yeah, I'll be patient. I'll be patient to see if the leaf comes out to be variegated, or if any of them come out to be variegated, because there's quite a lot of leaves popping out, but they're just really tiny still. And I've just kept it in this bag. This is just a regular one that I had sitting in there. And this one is from July, like pretty much August, and this one is from November. So this one is like 3 months, has been propagating for 3 months more. And you can see how much bigger it is. I don't know if it'll pick up the pace to catch up, but it's growing pretty slowly. But like I said, I'll be patient to see. I'm gonna put this down before something bad happens. But yeah, I was really surprised to see that like the mother plant came out with another variegated leaf. So that was really cool, and I was not expecting that at all. And then I have one more plant to show you. I recently did a video, well, I don't know how recent it was, but I did a video on the care for African violets, and in the video I tried my first propagation, and I said I would update you, so here is an update. And they're doing really great. You can see here that this one has a lot of baby leaves, and this one has just one. This one doesn't have any leaves, but it does have roots because I saw them. My cat kind of knocked it over, so I had to bury the roots in the dirt again. But they're doing so well, and yeah, I think I only watered it once since I put it into this tray. Since the first time I watered it. So I watered them twice their whole entire lives. And then I also did a water propagation, but that one died. So last night I put a new cutting in here, and I think it'll root. So we'll just have to wait and see for that. I think that covers everything though. So those are all my little updates, and I'm really glad these plants are okay because that fall could have been so much worse. I'm so glad that none of like the leaves broke. none of them kind of bent or snapped, so I'm just so happy that they're still okay, and I think they're gonna recover really well. It's probably gonna be like nothing even happened, hopefully. But yeah, that was very traumatizing, and I'm scared of this table. This is the first time I've used this table. I don't think I set it up right, but of course that would happen. Of course that would happen when I'm trying to show you how well these plants are doing. Like, the only time I take them out of their little safety bubble, they fall. Oh my gosh. At least we got to see their roots and how the roots are doing, so that was a good thing to come of this. Oh my gosh, I can't say that this video could have been any more eventful. So yeah, we're gonna end it here. Yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one, hopefully without any falling plants or anything like that. Okay, bye.